Hey guys, welcome to Peace Luv Biz. This is Steve Higgins, your host with the most. Today I'm the connector in chief because I've spent all my day networking, about 5 hours worth essentially in the end. So
Me too.
yeah, been talking, been talking to people all day. So figured we'd come and talk to Mary. How are you doing, Mary?
I'm doing awesome. I'm in the boardroom today, missing the boardroom because I'm not playing in the sandbox. We're adults. We're adulting. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
amen to that. Busy time of year with tax season. Um, we're in the heart of it. We try to keep these things, you can listen to them any time of year, but realistically, we're going to have a few times where real life happens and, tax season's going. Are you surviving tax season, Mary? I mean, I know you've already been dreaming about
Yeah,
taxes.
I am. I'm surviving. Slowly, little by little, but I'm getting there. So, I don't think we'll have many extensions this year, which that makes me really happy. So that's a good thing. We only like extensions if we really have to do them. We don't like to do that because then you're just prolonging tax season. You're turning it into next year. So,
Yeah, but I mean, let's face it, this is like the playoffs right now for
hmm
you. Um, you dream you. We haven't told everybody this yet, but you literally dream about filing taxes when it comes to tax season, and you've gone a little early this year.
I have. I usually tax season. I start dreaming about 3 days before March 15th deadline and April 15th deadline because March 15th is the corporate deadline. And this year I started 2 weeks ago
Yeah,
dreaming that I've missed deadlines. And I wake up in a panic because I dream so deep I can't tell what's reality and what's not. So I wake up freaking out, which is always nice for the person that's in the same bed as me as I'm having an aneurysm because I missed tax deadline. But yeah, so
you have got the flip side of that where there's the realization, oh wait, that wasn't real. I'm good. So
hmm
you've got the flip
yeah,
side of it at least.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so really, the first thing I thought it might make some sense to talk about is the fact that there are no such things as an emergency in accounting, and that goes for taxes, whatever it is. Nobody's on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Literally, you don't die. You don't die due to accounting
yeah.
or taxes.
Well, I think trusting your accountant and your tax preparer is a big thing.
Mm.
But for people that are just starting out, and say they've just started a business, like, how is it best to work with an accountant like yourself or somebody similar, where it's like, okay, how do I give those reins over and feel okay with it?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of it kind of reminds me of when I used to teach accounting, and you walk in and regardless of the class, you just have to instantly trust the professor, and the student has to trust the professor. I mean, that's kind of it. It's find what's a good fit. When we onboard people, when we meet with potential new clients, we literally do it like we're setting up a first date. Like, let's see if there's chemistry. Let's see if there's commitment. Um, Before you start your business, I would go look for an accountant because guess what? You need to know how to set it up. And if you don't know how to set it up, you could set it up wrong. People think they have S corps and they have single member LLCs. People think they have partnerships. They have an S corp and they have literally no idea what's going on. I've had people change themselves from an S corp to a C corp because they talked to somebody, um, and it incurred. They literally incurred a $50,000 tax bill by doing that change. So, I mean, talk to an accountant first and interview accountants. Get to know them, and then you do need to turn it over. Just
Yeah,
like with us, I don't. I stay in my lane. Stay in your lane. Do what you're good at. I turn your stuff is your stuff. I don't even try to mess with it.
yeah, 100%. And realistically, like, when you look at some financial emergencies, it's mainly down to poor planning, whether it's cash flow, whether it's a high tax bill or something like that, payroll issues where, you might have to be Venmoing or PayPaling into an ADP or something randomly just to cover yourself. It's
Oh
down to
yeah.
poor planning, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, no, nobody dies from accounting, and we say that because listen, if you're not dying, if you're 3 minutes away from death and can be saved, let's do something about it. Otherwise, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay, and walk through the process. Because freaking yourself out, stressing yourself out about the situation isn't resolving anything. I think the number one thing that stresses people out, and I am not one of them, but they get a letter from the IRS. I mean, thank God we have a corporate number versus my personal, and that's why I don't give out my personal, because I get text messages at 3 o'clock in the morning because of time differences, etc., or just 3 o'clock in the morning, they're just getting to their mail or whatever. Oh my God, I got a letter from the IRS. Oh my God, did you open it? Like, let's start with opening it first. That could be your IP pin that you need. I mean, that could be anything. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and you can deal with the situation, you can react to it. It's then a case of how do you either avoid the situation moving forward, or what can you put in place? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a plan, right? So that's, we've said it countless times to people. You're either going to pay in the front or you're going to pay at the end. And people that, and we've had many clients like this, that they onboard with us, and the first question when we're talking to them is, when's the last time you filed taxes? And the answer is bad. The answer is worse when it's, I have no idea. I mean,
it's
you're
bad for the
paying.
company, but good for the accountant when they say that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people go, "Why do you charge so much?" You haven't filed taxes in 5 years. You've been running your business for 5 years. I mean, why do I charge so much? We charge market rate, and we're fair, and we provide stellar service. So it's like, I'm not really charging all that much, considering the amount of work that we're doing and fixing and keeping you out of jail. That part.
Yeah. Well, considering you've got people out of jail and you've also put people in jail, then
Yeah.
it's pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
Like people, oh God, it's like going and you don't get your oil changed, then all of a sudden you've got an engine failure and you need a new car. It's like, why am I buying a new car now? Like, you're not
Right.
going to say that. You know that you haven't taken care of it, and now you need to. So, ugh.
It reminds me of Big Bang Theory, Penny, when Sheldon's in her car and she has the red light going on. I think the
Yeah,
entire series the red light was on. Never got it fixed. At some point, that car is not going to work anymore.
yeah,
The
but
lights aren't there just for entertainment value. They mean something.
yeah. I remember talking to my mechanic friend, and he's like, when the dashboard is like a Christmas lights, that's when you need to bring it to me. Like, let me take care of it before you no longer have a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
But like that's it. Like you do need to face the consequences of not dealing with things. But you also have to understand that if you have put it off for so long that you're going to end up paying for it. You're essentially paying for 5 years worth of accounting at that point.
Hmm.
However long it is. Just like somebody who is doing their own books, for example. They do their own bookkeeping. We hear this all the time. 90% of the time, the classifications are wrong. It's not done right. But then it comes to time, and it's like, okay, now what do you mean you have to clean everything up? Well, there's so many inaccuracies. It's not right. Like, you go to a doctor and get checked up. You're not gonna complain to the doctor that the doctor's wrong.
Right. I mean, if he says take the pill, well, why? Well, because your blood pressure's through the roof. So now you're on blood pressure pills. I mean, I think one thing that's great is when we go through this, I make sure that I have a separate document open, and I literally put down everything wrong.
Hmm.
As soon as someone says, "Oh, I do my own books," that's why when you said it, I was like, "Oh, not this." I hear it so often, and we just look at each other like, "Well, there's some cleanup we're gonna have to do."
Yeah, and it's it's opportunity cost as well. It's like, what is the benefit to for that person? What is the benefit to them doing it? It's really just the money. Like, you either pay somebody else to do it or you do it yourself. Realistically, you're better off spending 2 or 3 hours doing what you're good at and handing that off. Like, there's no
Well,
real benefit.
exactly. You're actually, and you're losing money on it because, like I had said last week, but you know, you have everybody has a dollar value to what for their profession. So why would you do 3 hours of bookkeeping that I literally can probably do in an hour, 30 minutes,
In an
and
hour?
it's gonna be right.
You mean in 10 minutes? You would
Yeah,
just
yeah,
whiz through it. Like,
yeah. I mean, I
like
can't. I
playing in.
mean, yeah,
You probably could do three Mario levels, like on a
right.
Nintendo or something.
Yep. I mean, but why would you invest 3 hours it not being right, but insist on that you're gonna keep doing it? I mean, that literally again chaos. I'm really big on the whole chaos thing, and it's inefficient. Why would you
Yeah.
do it? You're just
Yeah.
gonna drive yourself mad.
Well, so obviously bookkeeper is get somebody doing the books that knows what they're doing is a good starting point.
Hmm.
What do you think some other things that people can do to avoid the emergency situation?
Um, I mean, I would get we do a lot of CFO services. We have a number of monthly recurring clients, but look for somebody that does that. Look for somebody that you can trust that can look at your stuff and go, hey, this is wrong, this isn't right, this isn't right. We need to fix this. This is the reason why. Somebody that will explain to you, why your car payment is not an auto expense. It's a payment towards a loan. That's not the same thing. Look for someone that's going to help you understand what you're doing. Because providing the understanding only assists that business owner, takes less, they worry less, they have more confidence than in you, and then they're able to work in and on their business because they have someone they trust. So, whether it's us, which, we love our clients, whether it's us or somebody else, find someone that fits that niche. Because then you have tax time come up. And what do we have right now? I mean, we love what we do, but we have endless amounts of people coming to us. They haven't touched their books. They haven't even filed 23 taxes. So, and then they're mind blown. Well, you have one or two or three owners. Some have filed their taxes, some haven't. The business hasn't. They have, they've commingled or they haven't. Regardless, they have no system. They have an Excel sheet, God help me, doing their books. I mean, there's no organization. And how are you going to show a P&L when you need a loan? You're not going to walk into a bank and go, well, I have a Google sheet. I mean, they are going to laugh. They're going to outright laugh at you. And you can't build business credit. You can't build that business to the point that it should be because you have nothing to substantiate it.
I was talking to a mortgage lender earlier, and he was talking about the exact same thing, working with self-employed people. It's like they don't understand what goes into getting financials ready, and it's huge. And once you get cleaned up, once you file taxes, there's so many strategies you can put in place to save on a tax bill. But
Absolutely.
it's I've said it before, not on the podcast, but the government doesn't want people to know about them because the less people know about tax strategies, and then the more that they get paid, which that's their deal. What we want to do is make sure you keep your money.
Hmm.
Like, so
Legally, obviously, but
legally, of
legally.
course,
I
yeah.
mean, nobody likes that, the current person in charge of the United States had such a low tax bill, but it was all legal.
Yeah.
The tax filing was not illegal. It was completely legal.
Um, so yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. The best thing you can do is sit down with a Mary or somebody similar where it's like, here's the situation in my business. Be
Mm-hmm.
honest with the person as well. Don't try and hide anything. It's like talking to an accountant is like talking to a lawyer. Like you need
Yeah.
the accountant and the lawyer to know everything that they are
Mm-hmm.
possibly dealing with.
And don't. The other thing is honestly, don't try to BS it. At the end of the day, I see everything that you spend money on. Like I can't. I don't know how many times I've literally had to remind people. They're like, "Oh, I can't afford it," or "Oh, it's really I can't afford it," or "I don't have the money for, to pivot or change my business or do this." And I go, "We actually you do, because I can see your bank account. I can see your revenues. I see where you spend all your money.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see
yeah,
you spending, you know, 60 grand on Versace, whatever
yeah,
it is. Like,
yeah.
yeah. But but you can't afford an accountant.
But you can't afford not to, and that's what I usually say. You can't afford not to.
Yeah.
It cut somewhere else. So
Well, and not to be dismissive, but bookkeeping to some people is the idea of hard work and, you know, like really grinding and, oh, I'm working on my business, I'm doing everything I can do. There's the idea of hard work and then the smart work. So
absolutely.
when you look at that, like, how how do you find that like smart financial management can reduce unnecessary work, like budgeting, things like that, statements?
Well, I mean, we have several people that are clients that they inundate themselves with busy work. All busy work is doing is taking away the time that you have for your own business. So if you're a chef and you love cooking and that's your passion, I want you to go cook. Send me your bills, send me the stuff. We set it up, we put it on auto pay. You tell us when to pay it. Why would you be sitting there writing checks when you have an accountant there that takes charge of that? You know, I, I don't. I mean, the podcast. I show up and I'm snarky. That's what I do. You do everything else. So why am I going to do it? I don't have a clue how any of this works. I just know I show up and I be myself. Um, so why would I mess with something that you're proficient in? You're proficient in it. I mean, you don't come in and try to do your taxes. I do your taxes. So I mean, hello.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between I hate the idea of smart hard work versus smart work as well, because I think hard work is also smart work. I think lazy work is the opposite of smart work.
Yeah. I mean, I really and yeah, I work. I guess I work smart and hard, but honestly, I put in my AirPods and I crank up music and I just jam for 8, 12 hours doing taxes and QuickBooks. I mean, I'll be working for another 8 hours till midnight tonight, and I love it. I just do my thing and jam and get into committing yourself to your business. You want a different path. You want a certain lifestyle. You gotta work for it. Doesn't mean you're gonna have to work forever. But it does mean you're gonna have to commit to it.
I was just about to ask, do you think that it really is? Are they trying to show off that they're working, or are they trying to actually work at that point?
I don't know. I mean, I can honestly say I have this much work because it's the season. I mean, this is like retailers at Christmas.
Yeah.
And also, we have, because you and I have taken all of what we've done for so many years and invested it back into our company, we now have the fruits of our labor. But with that, I have a ton of clients to catch work up on, and we've also onboarded and grown our team, which is great. So there's training. So if it's being productive, that's awesome. If it's
Yeah.
if it's making you more efficient, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, I want to have Sundays off. That's my goal, is to have Sundays off during tax season. That's a lofty goal, but that's my goal in doing all this.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I think part of it is realizing that you are doing not wasteful activities, but having those bad habits where it's like, I'm going to spend so much time doing this stuff where I don't need to be. Um, Setting up systems, all those kinds of different things that you can do. Um, you used to use Motion. Now, obviously, a lot of Google Calendar with focus time and stuff like that. What do you
mhm.
think are other kind of ideas that people can use to
Well,
avoid that?
you got me into Trello. Love Trello. I have probably like 7 different cards now because, as Stephen has learned, I'm super OCD. Um, I have 3 unread emails right now, and I am losing my mind to not be able to read and file those. Um, so don't become like me, but maybe learn a little bit from me. Is that there's a time and place. It's like everything, right? So I literally have my to-do list, which you've seen that as well, running every day. But what I do is I have the times that I feel like tired and I know I'm slowing down. That's when I do what I call it, no brain activity work. Like it takes no thought for me to do it, so I save those tasks for then. When I'm shutting down, I'm
Hmm.
getting tired, I can just sit and do those. But other times, when I'm high functioning, I definitely, drill down and do the harder work.
I'm curious what low functioning activities are because I haven't found any. Like for me, I feel like I'm constantly having to work way too hard with my brain and like be so creative and all that stuff. Maybe that's why I call people. Like I think I talk to people and use that time to
That's your
decompress a
low
little bit.
functioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mine is, I mean, granted, we all know my brain is very special in that type of sense. Not in like, oh, she's amazing, but I mean, my downtime is sorting through downloads and doing QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody knows any therapists that can help us with this, then that'd be great. Just email into the pod or something.
Yeah.
um,
I will say though, everything. I know we're getting close to time, but I will say that I really think everything comes down to you really have to believe in yourself. You really need the confidence. Everybody can always be better, but as long as I'm functioning at the best version of myself at that moment, that is what drives me. And I think I think you're the same way. I have to push you a little bit because you've gotten beat up verbally so badly by toxic employers, but not this one. But um, lately, but I mean, I have my moments. But I mean, you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta love loving you. Loving you has to be first. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. You can't love your business. You can't grow your business. You stop and go do data entry.
I think that's a pretty good place to start because I think that we really want to dive into the belief and the confidence side of things, probably on the next one or down the line. Um,
Yes.
because there's a lot to go over that. We're finding way too many people are dealing with that, and like you said, I have dealt with that and continue to deal with that. Um, so in the meantime, we are in tax season, so if people need help with their taxes, looking to actually file their taxes this year, like,
Yeah.
if you're one of those people, don't be ashamed. Just say, hey, I need help filing all of my taxes. If you know anybody, we're more than happy to help them. Best way to reach us is go to the website peacelovbiz.com. That's peaceluvbiz.com. Send a form in. We'll take care of you. Meet with you. You'll see both of our faces, and we'll get you through tax season and beyond. In the meantime, have a wonderful and have a peaceful day.
Have a peaceful one. Thank you, Stephen, as always. Extraordinary.
Thanks.